Hey guys, I'm your friend Chetan Bhola and you're watching Bhola Moto. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the top 5 error codes that are usually generated inside the car. So please keep watching this video till the end and you are going to learn a lot of good stuff about these error codes. If you are new to the channel or did not subscribe my channel, please subscribe it right now. You can share this video to your friends also. So basically error codes are only generated whenever you scan your car or ECU of the car by using a scanner, OBD scanner. I have made a separate video about OBD scanners. You can go and watch that video, and if you want to buy the OBD scanner, I have given the link of that OBD scanner in the description of that video. So please go and watch that video, buy that OBD scanner, whatever you want to do you can do. And then if you have a OBD scanner, then just connect this OBD scanner to the OBD port, and then you can just scan whatever fault are there inside your car. So whenever you scan your car, there are several error codes are generated which will be telling you about the faults that are there inside the car. So I would like to tell you some basics about it. If the error codes are generated with the first letter P, then it shows that there is some fault in the powertrain, and if there is the first letter is B, then it shows that there is some problem in the body. If it's C, it shows chassis, and if it's U, it shows network communication. So you have to just you can just take a guess like where might be the fault is. Now if the second digit is 0, then it shows the fault is generic, and then that shows the fault is generated when you have traveled your vehicle. But if the second letter is 1, which is very much rare, then it shows that there is some fault from the manufacturers, and it can be repaired by the manufacturer only. Now let's talk about the 5 most important error codes that we would like to talk about. The first error code that usually got generated inside whenever you scan your car, and if the error code lies between them, then it shows that there is some problem about O2 sensor. O2 sensor, what it does is, I have made a separate video on that. You can go and watch that video. But O2 sensor is there to monitor about the combustion process inside the engine. So the amount of oxygen coming out with the exhaust gases can indicate that how much combustion, how was the combustion process inside it. If the amount of oxygen is very less, then it shows that the combustion process was very good. Because if the oxygen is level of the oxygen is less, then it shows that the in combustion process there is hell lot of oxygen which has been used. But if the oxygen is if the oxygen is more, then it shows that the combustion process is not that good, because oxygen has left, and that shows that the combustion process was not that good. But if it is not working properly, then it can there might be some loss of efficiency of your or mileage of your engine, because your ECU would not be able to get about the combustion details of the engine. If it is not able to do that, then it won't be able to alter the air fuel mixture, so that so as to achieve the most efficient air fuel mixture. So therefore O2 sensor is very much important. So if this code is generated when the ECU stops receiving the exact data about how much about the percentage oxygen in the exhaust gases. So after and then only these error codes are generated. So whenever these error codes are generated, you should get to know that there is some fault in oxygen sensor. If you can repair it, you should repair it, and else you have to replace that. The second error code which is mostly generated is may lie between P0300 to P0305. So this shows that there is a misfire in the engine. It is detected by a Hall effect sensor which is placed near to the crankshaft. If the speed of the crankshaft decreases, then it takes the signal like there might be some misfiring in the engine. And if the fluctuation, if there is some fluctuation in the speed of the crankshaft, then it can again take the signal that there is some misfiring in the engine. And I have made a video on the misfire also. You can watch that also. And if there is some if these codes are generated, then you need to first of all check the spark plugs and the injector, and after that you can watch my video where I have tell each and every step how you can counter the misfire. So I think you got to know about this. Now if third code is P0411, P0440, P0442, P0455, these all of these codes will signify there is some problem in the EVAP system. EVAP is the evaporative system. Evaporative system is a system which is employed in the car so as to so as to contain and so as to remove the vapors generated, or the vapors or the fumes generated by the fuel whenever it is burned, whenever it evaporates. So whenever if there is some fuel in the fuel tank, and due to high temperature, it might be converted from liquid to the gases, and these gases are the vapors of the fuel, and these vapors has to be rejected, but not to the atmosphere, because if it is rejected to the atmosphere, then it could be harmful to the atmosphere. So that's why it is not recommended to be directly sent to the atmosphere. So there is some catalytic carbon canister that we use in this EVAP system. There is a hose vent, and after that there is a carbon canister, and after that there is what we say, there is a purge valve, and this purge valve just monitors how much gases are going, and is it good or not. I'll make a separate video on it. And so this shows that there is some fault in that, but most of the time these codes are generated just because there is the lid of the fuel tank is opened. Because if the lid of the fuel tank is opened, all of the vapors generated inside the fuel tank, they might escape from there only, and none of the fumes will be going towards this EVAP system, and then there will be no signal generated in this EVAP system, and thus it might show these error codes. So whenever these kind of codes generated in your car, you should first of all go and close the lid of your fuel tank. Now let's talk about the another error code, that is P0401. This is the EGR error. EGR is the exhaust gas recirculation. I have made a video on it also. You should watch that. Most of the time what EGR does is like it takes the exhaust gases and then send it back to the combustion chamber, so that the toxicants of these exhaust gases can be reduced to some extent. But this code is generated only when if you are making so many of the short trips. Because of the short trips, the engine may not reach at the optimum temperature every time, and at that cases more amount of the toxic gases will be generated because of the less efficient combustion process taking place inside the combustion chamber, because of less optimum temperature. So because of that, if you are making so many of the short trips, this code might generate. And another reason could be if you have not changed your oil since a long time, then this code might also generate, because if there is old oil inside it, this might be creating some fumes, some unburnt carbon, and if all of the gases passes through a EGR, then EGR might send these error codes. So you should first of all check if you are making several short trips, or if your oil is not changed, and after that you should go to the EGR if it is not working properly. The last but very important error codes are P0420 and P0430. These are the error codes which signifies there is some fault in the catalytic converter. If there are some faults in the catalytic converter, how we can sense it? There are two oxygen sensors inside the whole exhaust path. First O2 sensor is placed before the catalytic converter, and another is placed after the catalytic converter. And if there is the oxygen amount coming in the exhaust gases should reduce after the catalytic converter. So if there is some variation, if there is some difference in the oxygen amount calculated by the first O2 sensor and the second O2 sensor, if the amount of oxygen decreases in the second O2 sensor, then it shows that catalytic converter is working properly. But if that is because the oxygen amount is decreased because the catalytic converter has oxidized some of the exhaust gases, and in that process it has utilized some of the oxygen. So that's why the amount of oxygen should have decreased in the second O2 sensor. But if if the situation is reversed, or if there is no difference in the two of the O2 sensor, then it shows that the catalytic converter is not working properly. So then you have to replace your catalytic converter. So I hope you got to know almost everything about these error codes. If you still have any doubts and any queries, you can please feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I will be happy to help you. You can ask me on Instagram, you can ask me on Facebook also. So thanks a lot guys for watching. Keep keep sharing and keep supporting guys. Please do check my channel. There are so many of the good stuff in it.